Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome. And I am the MGTOW philosopher. In this video, I would like to discuss the subject of single mothers and why we need to nuke them all. Just toss them all in a giant pit and throw in a nuke. End the scourge of single mothers in one fell swoop. Obviously, I'm joking. I wouldn't recommend anything quite that extreme. But it is for certain that single mothers are a scourge on humanity. Now, I think it's pretty obvious why I say this. Unfortunately, if you're dumb enough to ask the question, why are they a scourge? As if you have no idea at all, then you're a moron. I think most of you out there listening know that they are a problem, that they are a scourge, that you have some idea of why they're a problem. Now, you see, I think they're a bigger problem than most people realize. I think they are part and parcel responsible for the downfall of Western civilization. Let me say that again. I think they are part and parcel responsible for the downfall of Western civilization. Now, that is to say that they are a contributing factor, that they are making things much, much worse. Now, single mothers are really a symptom of a larger problem, which is cultural Marxism, and one of its tools, which is feminism, which is there to break down the family unit and put women into a position of superiority and to indoctrinate men into a female atmosphere and to change them into women, essentially, and make them more subjective in their thinking and how they make decisions. So, yes, in that sense, single mothers are symptomatic and not the root cause of a problem, but they have become a contributing factor to the problem, making it much, much worse, meaning that things were better when you didn't have single mothers. And feminism and cultural Marxism helped create single mothers, and that amplified the problem, made things even worse. Now, of course, the only way to get rid of single mothers is to change the culture back to what it was, or to change it into something else that recognizes the importance of family and does not incentivize people to break up. But that's another video entirely. So let's discuss the subject of single mothers and why they are evil incarnate. Number one, generally speaking, women get custody. The courts have been liberalized to the point where women are seen as the goddess, the solution to the problem of raising children just perfectly, wonderfully. Women are they are the pinnacle, and men are just lowly garbage, and they shouldn't bother worrying about raising kids. They should just be a human wallet and give, and the woman will do the really hard work of raising the kids. Just let the guy give money. Yeah. And that's why in the majority of cases, the woman gets custody. You might say, oh, well, she burst the baby, so she's got the biological imperative to do the best job. No. Studies have shown between single fathers and single mothers that we do have enough single fathers now, that studies have been done on this, that the children of single fathers do about as well as children from two-parent households, while the children of single mothers do far, far worse, with higher degrees of alcoholism, drug use, suicide, criminal activity. So being the child of a single mother is kind of really, really bad. It's like you're many times more likely to be a drug addict, an alcoholic, a criminal, or to kill yourself. Basically, you are not hitting the lottery if you have a single mother. So this belief that women are better parents than men is quite false. Men, with their natural commands of logic and reason and their critical thinking skills, and the fact that men, by and large, are more intelligent than women, makes them far superior parents. But you'll never hear this talked about because that would be sexism. And women, unfortunately, are subjectivist creatures. They're collectivist. They are all about feelings and not about facts. So when they break up with the hubby, or they leave the hubby because he was such a jerk, right? Or he leaves them. Generally, the woman goes on her feelings, and her feelings are that she hates men and that daddy was bad. And let's let the kids know how bad daddy was, and let's make them, if they're boys, internalize male hate and to feel self-hate for themselves. And let's not have a man around, and since I'll get custody, I'll raise them to be girls, which is essentially what happens more often than not. And so you're creating men who are deeply, deeply troubled, don't know what it means to be a man, have no real masculine traits, and don't know how to think, don't know who they are, have no real identity, which is exactly what society wants, because if you have an identity, you have a strong foundation for self. If you have a strong self, then you're more likely to be able to think for yourself, make your own decisions, and the state doesn't like that. The state wants to do that for you. So single mothers are agents of the left. They are agents and they are indoctrinators of leftist philosophy by their very nature. And without a strong man there to balance out their mumbo-jumbo nonsense, you are going to end up more than likely creating a social justice warrior, collectivist-loving leftist who loves to have other people do their thinking for them. Reason number one that women, single mothers, are evil. Reason number two, well, by and large, women are a drain on society without a man. In fact, if you take all the taxes that women pay, all the taxes that men pay, and then you subtract from the total pool of taxes paid by both men and women the amount of money that women take in all areas of welfare and support for their single kids and for themselves, guess what? They are a net loss. They are a net loss on the system. Women subtract more from the system than they put in taxes. Men are the exact opposite. Men put in more than they take out. And they pay for the shortfall of women, the extra that they take out. Not only do women take out more than they put in, it's so much more, and men make so much more that men cover whatever cost they take out, plus any extra that women take out. And then there's enough left over to run the country. So that right there should tell you a little bit about just how productive men are compared to women. So yeah, women, single mothers, are a drain. It's that simple. So that's reason number two to really hate single mothers. Reason number three, they are baby machines. Their one purpose in life is to breed, okay? Now, minus women whose husbands have died or left them for the much younger secretary or something. Generally speaking, single mothers are breeders. Their sole purpose in life is to breed. They're incentivized to breed. They know that it pays dividends, and they take advantage of this excuse to be lazy, do-nothing ne'er-do-wells. And so they have babies, and they get paid for it. Now, of course, women would say, well, it's my right to have a kid, and I can have a kid, and I should be able to take care of it, and, what if I don't have enough money? Well, the state can't let my child starve, and, I do pay taxes, so I should be able to take from the public treasury. Okay, well, let's nail those points, and they'll be very easy to nail. First of all, ladies, if you are so gung-ho bent on having kids, get married. Then you'd have somebody to support them. Oh, but marriage is difficult, right? Marriage is difficult. Men are a pain. And it's much better just to do it on your own, right? Well, then why are you getting men to impregnate you? Why don't you just go to a sperm clinic and get a sperm donor? But if they did that, there wouldn't be any free money. They'd have to literally take care of themselves, okay? And as for the state owing you something, again, it's your choice to have a kid. The state is there with some kind of benefits, which it really ought not have to begin with. Private organizations would take over for the health and well-being and care of people who got into bad situations through no fault of their own. That's always been the case throughout history. The government isn't needed for that. But this is through fault of your own. You can decide if you have kids. Having kids is a decision. And by the way, it's not a decision that men make. Men do not have that choice. It's ultimately down to the woman. So the man has no power in regards to having kids. He had some part in the kid being made. He was the sperm donor. That's about it. The woman ultimately decides if a pregnancy will happen. And she acts like some kind of victim that deserves help. But she's not a real victim. She's in the position that she is in because she chose to be. So single mothers are baby-making machines, and all they do is create criminals, drug addicts, alcoholics, criminals, and future suicide victims. So they are contributing a vast amount to the criminality of society. They are actually dangerous. They create either leftists or criminals. Same difference. Because these wacko nut jobs you see running around the street, yelling they are anti-fascists or they are anarchists, a great many of them were raised by single mothers. As were many of the criminals and drug users you see out there today shooting up in an alley. Single mothers are by far one of the biggest contributors to crime in the West. Reason number 4, single mothers are a waste of a man's time. They waste your time and they will waste your resources, and they will take as many resources as you are willing to give them. They are in no way independent. And if you date a single mother, you are a retard, because single mothers have no time for you. They have no time for you. You will never be a priority in their life. Those little crumb-crunching munchkins running around will always need her help. You'll never find any free time to be with her. Never. Very rarely, if there's anything you're going to do as a group together, you are going to pay the bill. She's going to look at you and expect you to pay because you're the man, and women are notoriously cheapskates. So if you value your wallet and your sanity, and you want to be with a woman who actually cares about you and pays attention to you and will have time for you, a single mother ain't it. She literally will have no time. And those kids ain't yours either. And that does contribute. That is a contributing factor. If you were the father and she was with you, those kids are connected to you. So in a way, affection for you is affection for them, and there's a connection there. But if you have no biological connection to these kids, please, she's got no time for you, okay? So you are going to be one lonely guy, all right? Reason number 5. She's used goods, man. Used goods. You ever hear the saying, a hot dog thrown down a hallway? Hot dog in a hallway. I mean, yeah, single mothers are just worn out, used, abused goods. They're just really, that's all they are. You would have to be, let me put this as delicately as possible. You would have to be massively endowed in a particular area to enjoy that creature. Okay? Otherwise, you're not going to feel very much, if anything. Do you catch my drift? So, you definitely want to avoid that if at all possible. Yeah. Reason number 6. While there are exceptions to every rule, those exceptions are not the rule. And while there are some single mothers who, for example, their husband died or he left and divorced them, the majority of divorces are still initiated by women. And the majority of women who are single mothers, whether or not they say so, have a real problem, and they have a real problem with men, period. They have enmity, they have anger, they have issues with men. And so, that being the case, these are not people you would want to have kids with, but that's exactly what is likely to happen. So that's number 6, that if you date a single mother, she's going to have kids. That's just the odds are she's going to have kids. The overwhelming odds are that she's going to have a baby with you so that she can suck more money from you. I mean, if she's a single mother, it's quite possible she has multiple fathers because that way she can milk more money out of them. Yeah, more the greater the number of different fathers she has for her kids, the more money she can get in child support. And I guarantee you, most of that money ain't going to the kids in most cases. So a lot of single mothers see being single mothers as a payday, and they're incentivized to be single mothers. The system incentivizes it. So if you are with a single mother, you can wear all the protection you want, but condoms fail. They're the least reliable form of birth control. She might say she's using the pill, but doesn't. She might take your condom you throw away and extract the contents and then insert them when you're not looking. These are all very common things. Or she might just poke holes in the condoms through the condom wrapper. This is very easy to get your fluids and then to impregnate herself. And if you're extremely careful and you bring your own condoms with you and you don't live with her, which you better not, you'd have to be an idiot to live with a woman anyway. But let's say you bring your own condoms and you're extremely careful. There's still no guarantee that she won't get pregnant. And if she does, you're on the hook because she has a history of having kids and then making guys pay for them. She doesn't know what the word abortion means. She's against abortion. Yeah, abortion is evil. It's wrong. She's not religious, but in that realm, she's suddenly Sister Teresa or whatever. Of course, not technically Teresa, because that little dried up cunt never had sex. But regardless, suddenly she's the perfect Christian, and now she won't get an abortion because that's murder. So you're going to be on the hook for that kid no matter what. You wanted to be a daddy? Well, guess what? You're not going to be a daddy because she's going to get custody of that kid, and then she's going to have total control over when you see that kid. Forget what the court tells you. Court says, oh, you can see the kid every other weekend, and you can have it. Bullshit, okay? You're not going to see that kid ever, not again, unless she says so, and then she'll say, take me to court. You take her to court, blah, blah, blah. You're going to spend tons of money, and then she's still in control. It's very, very difficult to have a single mother lose control of her kids. Very difficult for them to lose custody. And if you think you're going to get custody as a man, I mean, unless she is like like a serial murderer or something, like the Lizzie Borden of single mothers, unless she's going around, chopping off heads and shit, you ain't getting custody. So you want to be a daddy? Single mothers are not the way to go. And you are just a sperm contributor to her. You're nothing more than a sperm donor and a human wallet. Of course, that might be the case for a lot of non-single mothers, but single mothers are proven cases. 100% that woman, if she gets pregnant, will have that kid and will petition you for child support. So why on earth would you be around someone who's 100% risk? It's just not a risk. She's 100% guaranteed to screw you over if you get her pregnant. Why? Why would you do that? Unless you're a moron, you wouldn't. Reason number 7. Single mothers are generally man-haters. Do you hate women? Most men don't. Do single mothers hate men? Most of them do. For one thing, women never take responsibility for their actions. They don't have reason or accountability, so they're never required to take responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. So if the relationship doesn't work out, even if she leaves him, it's not her fault. It's his fault. And he's a man and he's evil. So he's evil because he's a man. And those are the kind of conclusions they come to because no logic, no reason. So men are evil. They hate men. You're a man. Okay? Why would you want to put yourself in that situation? I mean, yeah, you have bad odds when you're going out with any woman because feminism and its evil ideology have so proliferated throughout the world. But with single mothers, you've got almost 100% chance of meeting a man-hating bitch. The odds are so much higher when you're dealing with a single mother. It's almost guaranteed she will hate you as a man. So get ready to enjoy whatever relationship you have. Get ready to enjoy the majority of it being belittled, treated badly, marginalized, and generally having to deal with her crap. And there's going to be a lot more of it because, again, she hates men. Does that sound like fun? Does that sound like something you want? Some bitch bothering you about how she hates men, but she's perfectly happy to take your money and your help. Yeah, I wonder what that's going to do for your self-esteem and your self-worth. It's not going to do very much for it, is it? Not in the positive anyway, but it'll sure do a lot in the negative. Make you feel really shitty about yourself. Yeah, that's the kind of relationship we all want and need, isn't it? So that's another real good reason to avoid single mothers. So those are some really, really good reasons to totally avoid single mothers. They don't have much to offer. They're not a traditional woman. Okay? They're not going to have time for you. Whatever sexual relations you have with them might not be so good if you're going downtown, if you know what I mean. You know, like I said, the old analogy of a hot dog down a hallway. I mean, there really are no benefits to dating a single mother, but it's all negatives. All negatives. You'll have to be the surrogate daddy for the kids. You're going to be the human wallet for the kids. You're going to be the human wallet for her. You're going to be called upon to do shit that she can't do, man stuff. Of course, she hates men, but when she needs you, she'll call you. But women don't need men, of course. They have the state. That's their man. Right. So you got rid of the state, women would need men again, and then they might treat them better. But until then, you probably don't want to live with them, marry them, or get into any long-term relationships if you're smart. But especially stay away from single mothers because they have a proven bad track record. They made bad choices. They are bitter, they are angry, and they've got kids, which guarantees you will never, never, ever have any real quality free time with them. Oh, and did I forget to mention that they hate you? Yeah, because you're a man. Sounds like a wonderful roller coaster ride through hell to me. I would never date a single mother, and when I find out a woman has a kid, I say goodbye, and I don't give a shit how hot she is. The rest of her probably ain't all that hot, and even if by some goddamn miracle things are almost exactly the same way they were when she was 20 as they are now at her age of 30 or 35, which would be a fucking miracle. And even if that was the case, I wouldn't be interested because all the pros and all of the cons and zero pros. So if you're thinking about dating a single mother, don't. Don't think to yourself you're smarter than me. Don't think to yourself you know more. Don't think to yourself you have some kind of love there. This special love that nobody else has, and you two are the exception to the rule that's going to prove the rule wrong. You ain't. It's going to go bad. Hombres, okay? And you're going to end up alone and poor because she'll have fucked you over. And now she's got your kid and you pay him for the next 18 years. Independent my ass. I am the MGTOW philosopher and I wish you all a good day. Take care.